Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be testing the McLaren Mercedes MP4-25 in multiplayer. Now this car is very popular, so I thought I'd share my favorite tune and what I think is the best tune and see how we do. So my rank is 1667, and this car has no max upgrades, only pro kits. So my tuning is 10, 0, 10, 9. If you do 10 on exhaust, it puts your car at too high of a rank, so I think here is a better place to stay. So the MP4-25 starts up extremely fast, as you can see. It is the second fastest accelerating car in the game, only after the MP4-8, but not by much. So in this race, we have another MP4-25 and a Vulcan as our main competitors. So, because of my great acceleration, I'm able to get ahead of this Vulcan. He is the car right behind me. Now here it is best to go left if you know how to do it instead of going right. It's not much faster, but if you do this and another car that you're trying to beat goes right, you will win most likely, because this way is faster, even if not by much. So this Vulcan is closing in on me, but because of this car's superior acceleration, I'm able to get around the turns quicker, and since this is only a one-lap race, I am able to beat him. Yes, you can beat Vulcans in this car if you have a one-lap short track. It may be harder to beat them on longer tracks on 2 laps, as you'll see later in the video, but you can still put up a pretty good fight. And we also beat a higher-ranked other MP4-25 as well. So now for our next race, which is on Nevada against some MP4-8s and a Homage, which you can't actually see at the beginning of the race, but the Homage is that one back there that's not accelerating very fast. So even though those MP4-8s start up slightly faster than this car, I do manage to pass them in about 5 seconds, because my speed, 296 miles per hour, is about 18 miles per hour faster than them. Yes, the MP4-8 is a very slow car at this rank, really. The MP4-25 skids less than it used to, even though on dirt sometimes it skids, just like that. Usually it's not very bad, and the ones that do happen you can control, but they do not happen very much anymore. So that car that is now right behind me is the Homage. He has managed to pass the MP4-8s and is now catching up, because he is about 18 miles per hour faster than me. Yes, he's a lot faster than the MP4-8s in that case. But because of this car's amazing drifting and acceleration, I'm able to get around those corners quicker than he is, and we have another lap though, so let's see if I can hold him off. So finally, the Munich update has in fact come out for Windows, yesterday or the day before I believe, and this is the best news. Gameloft has removed on all platforms the token-only upgrades that they had added originally. A petition was made and signed by 1,500 people and sent to Gameloft. I'm not sure if that's what caused them to do it, but they did say that the community really didn't like it, and that's kind of an understatement if you've been seeing what's been happening since they announced that they were going to be having token upgrades. But yes, they're gone, so the Munich update is a lot better now than people had thought it was going to be. So I beat that Homage. He was just slightly lower by about 8 rank, and an MP4-25 that disconnected at the beginning. So even on 2 laps, if you get a twisty track like Nevada, the MP4-25 has a very good chance against the Homage. Now for the next race, which is on London against another MP4-25 and 2 MP4-8s. So this is an only F1 car race, which does happen occasionally, but not too often because of all the Vulcans. But still, it's very interesting when it happens, because everyone starts up really fast, and yeah, it can be crazy at the start. So I've managed to pull slightly ahead of those cars because I am faster than the MP4-8s, but that other MP4-25 is very close behind me. He is the one that's right behind me. Now in this video, I did not run extra tank in any of the races, because while it does help this car a bit, it's really not needed. As you will see, in that first race I was able to beat that Vulcan without them, and in this one, the second MP4-25, the one right behind me, is triple boosted and I'm not, and I'm pretty much being able to stay in nitro throughout the whole race. So yes, extra tank is really not needed in this car. He was a slightly lower one, but triple boosted, and 2 nearly pro'd MP4-8s. Man, people have some really weird usernames. So now for another race on Nevada, this time the normal way, against 2 Vulcans. As you can see here, I start up a lot faster than they do. However, the Vulcan is about, I'd say, 10 to 12 miles per hour faster than this car at this rank, depending on how you tune it. So yeah, this is a race where extra tanks would have come in handy, because this car's handling is a little touchy, a little sensitive, and so I missed that yellow nitro bottle. But I really don't think it made all that much difference, because I would still have to go up here to get this nitro, and even though the Vulcan passed me, he still would have had I gotten that yellow nitro bottle. So yeah, one Vulcan is ahead, and the other one is the car that is right behind me and catching up fairly quickly. Now, this route on Nevada is one way that I have done recently, and it seems to give me quite good airspeed in most cases. I don't think it's the route that gives the best airspeed in that section, but it's certainly one of the easiest ones. So that other Vulcan is catching up to me extremely quickly, but again, because my acceleration is better, I'm able to accelerate faster around the corners and beat him. As you can see, the MP4-25 does have potential to beat Vulcans in some cases. So a triple boosted slightly lower one beat us, but we beat a triple boosted slightly higher one, and a pro'd MP4-8. I should just stop mentioning them because they're in practically every race, and they almost always come in last. So I completely shot past that Camaro and Cigaris back there. The Camaro is a decent car at this rank, and I did test it at a rank of around 1642 if you would like to check that video out. But the Cigaris at this rank is pretty much trash. For best results, you should keep the Cigaris and the Camaro and the MP4-8 below 1500, although the Camaro is the only one of those three that actually sometimes does decently around this rank. Interesting fact, this was the first F1 car I got and the first car that took me to Champion League, so it holds a very special place in my heart, you might say. When I reached Champion in it, I was only at around 1600 rank in this car, but that will not be able to beat Vulcans and stuff, so it's a lot better to tune up to around this level in my opinion. So we beat two MP4-8s, nearly pro'd, and a Camaro, and that Cigaris. Those two cars do not do well on twisty tracks like Dubai, as you see here. Now this race is on one of the Great Wall tracks against another MP4-25, which is the one directly ahead of me, and some other cars. So that MP4-25 ahead of me is a slightly higher ranked one, as you will see at the end of the video, but after the rank that my car is at, the MP4-25 does not go up in speed much with its upgrades, because a max pro'd one at 1766 only goes about 7 miles per hour faster than this one, and that one directly ahead of me isn't even all that much further above me. So yes, if they make one mistake like that one did, you can beat pretty much any other much higher ranked MP4-25 that you come up against, because the speed of them is just not really enough to catch up to you if they make a mistake. This track in particular of the China tracks is one of the best for this car and best for any car that is really good drifting, because around these corners, this car and any other really good drifting cars really just shine. And this one is one to avoid if you're in a Camaro or a car like that that does not drift well. So he was a 17091 one, and there's a Max Pro double boosted Pagani Zonda R, which is not a good multiplayer car at any rank really. So now we have one of the most interesting races I have ever played. The two main competitors are that Vulcan that I just knocked down and a Camaro. There's also another Vulcan in this race as well. So two Vulcans and one Camaro. What can the MP4-25 do against this? Well, quite a bit, as you will see. That turn back there is best taken if you start drifting early. A lot of people go flying out the tunnel and don't start drifting early enough, and they whack into the side. So, yep, it's better to just slow down a little bit and take it nice and easily. That car that is coming up directly behind me is actually neither of the Vulcans, it is the Camaro. So yes, the Camaro can be a very good car at this rank, if you get a track that does not have a bunch of twists and turns and stuff. So see, he's caught up to me, but he hits the side, and I'm able to knock him down. That's probably one of the most satisfying knockdowns I've ever gotten. So I was thinking I was safe when I noticed, oh, there's another car that's catching up close behind me. That is the Vulcan, actually, that I knocked down earlier in the beginning of the race. So will the MP4-25 be able to hold him off? Well, let's see. So we're coming up to the final 30 seconds of the race or so, and he is slowly catching up. That other car behind the Vulcan is the other Vulcan. That is even higher ranked than that one, as you'll see at the end of the race. But my speed is just not enough to stop this Vulcan from catching up to me. As you can see here, his speed is better, and he manages to catch up. And he's passing me at pretty much the same place the Camaro did. However, the Vulcan has good drifting and so does not hit the wall like the Camaro did, and he barely manages to come in ahead of me, only 4 frames ahead. But we beat that other higher ranked Vulcan by about 1 second, and that Camaro disconnected. A while back when I made my Camaro video, I asked you guys whether you liked longer videos closer to 15 minutes or shorter ones closer to 10 minutes. A lot of you guys responded that you would rather see a longer one. So both the people who like longer videos and shorter videos are happy. My multiplayer car videos will range typically from 10 to 15 minutes, which is what I would consider the optimal range for videos like this one. Long enough to give a good amount of content and information, but not too long to become tedious. I've found that it is faster going on top here than it is going underneath down to the left back there, just because it's slightly faster and you don't have the big jump at the end going up to slow you down. This track used to be very bad for the MP4-25, where it would skid a lot more on the dirt and asphalt. It did a little bit there, but it's not nearly as bad as it used to be, so you're a lot safer picking tracks in this car that would cause you to skid than you would have been earlier. That car catching up right behind me is another MP4-25. He is actually higher ranked, but I still managed to beat him. He was a 1694 one, which is the 10.3-10.10 tuning. While it may be faster, you have a chance to face max pro'd Vulcans when you tune that high, so I would not recommend it. The general rule for good matchmaking is to stay below 1670 rank, so that is why my car is at 1667 and my Vulcan I have upgraded to 1669. So at the beginning of this race, we have a little battle between me and this other MP4-25 who starts up about as fast as me and goes approximately the same speed as me. The car behind us both is the Vulcan, so keep an eye on him throughout the race and you'll see him slowly start to catch up. So, I will tell you my general consensus on this car. It is certainly one of the best multiplayer cars in the game, and one of the only cars, along with the Homage, that has a fairly good chance, if driven well, to beat Vulcans. Only on some tracks, though. It is certainly worth saving up blueprints for if you did not get it in its championship, so I wish you all good blueprint finding luck. Here is the infamous left-right choice on Ice Cave that you have heard me talk about in so many of my videos. Going right is better in cars that drift well and accelerate well. Going left is better in cars that do not drift well, and maybe ones that do not accelerate well as well. That was a lot of well in that sentence. Oh well. So the other MP4-25 took the way that I did, the Vulcan took the way to the left, and I have managed to finish directly ahead of them both. So the Vulcan came in second, just 3 frames ahead of the other MP4-25, which was actually at the exact same rank that mine is at. No wonder we started up almost the same. Thank you all for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt 8 videos. And I will see you later. Goodbye.